around this time, I had posted a couple articles on Mike Rinder's blog under a pseudonym. I think I was calling myself Galactic Patrol or something from the Lensman series. And I'd posted a couple, critical essays about the Church of Scientology, because I had given up on the whole get back in their good graces thing. And then I realized, okay, now I'm declared. Now there is no reason for me to hide what I'm doing or who I am or what this is all about. And how did this happen? I was in touch with a woman named Karen De La Carriere out in Los Angeles. She is an ex-Sea Org member, worked directly under L. Ron Hubbard for many, many, many years. And she had a YouTube channel called Surviving Scientology. And she heard about what had happened. And I can't remember exactly how. I think I got on forums or I got on the phone with her somehow. And she invited me out to LA to be on her channel. And I thought, okay, here we go. I can actually do this under my own name now. And I was eager to talk because, as you have noticed, I don't have a problem talking. And I wanted to get the word out about this. And I thought, I've got things to say. I've got things people should know about in regards to what Scientology is actually up to. And so she flew me out to LA and I did some videos on her channel. She interviewed me. And I came out and it was Chris Shelton Speaks, right? And I'd been around in the Western United States all these years in org management stuff. So I had met probably thousands of Scientologists. I mean, people kind of knew who my name in one way or another. I wasn't a Scientology celebrity or VIP, but I had been around long enough in the Western United States that all the staff and a lot of the public knew me. So when a video came out with my name saying Chris Shelton speaks out against Scientology, it got some views. And the most amazing thing, though, and I did not see this coming at all, was once those videos started posting, okay, now I was out loud and proud under my own name. I had never done this up until now. And other former Scientologists who had known me during these years, including staff members from Santa Barbara who were no longer Scientologists, who had gotten out, started reaching out to me and contacting me. And I was blown away. I could not believe some of the people who had left that I had lost touch with over all the years. And so we were reconnecting. So in a funny way, I had all this disconnection happen. My ex-wife, friends I had in the Sea Org for, decades. Of course, that all the Scientologists in Minnesota, like my Facebook friend list went to nothing overnight, it went from 100 to 0, right? Like just like that. So I had to rebuild everything, right? So suddenly some of these people are reaching out to me and I'm reestablishing connections with people that I had lost touch with. And I'm introduced to this whole world of, this whole bigger world now of ex-Scientologists and YouTube ex-Scientologists and Facebook groups that were about ex-Scientology. I hadn't been connected with any of that stuff yet. So now I was getting connected into it, and I was seeing that there were actually a lot of people with this, and a lot more than I had even known about before. And I felt again validated, reassured that I was not crazy or stupid, and that I was doing the right thing, and people were reacting with a lot of shock to some of the stuff that I was saying about what was going on behind the scenes, because there was some things I was talking about that other people hadn't been talking about yet. And so I did this series of videos with her, and then I went back home and I thought, well, hell, I've got some things. I sat down and I wrote a very long article, which I had hoped I would be able to get printed in a news media, maybe a local paper or something, there in Minnesota, about why I thought Scientology was going to be the author of its own undoing, right? How and the way I constructed the thought process and put it all together was there were 6 or 7. I think there were like 6 basic points, And they all basically evolved or revolved around the idea that Scientology's destruction was literally built into its own DNA. That was how I put it. All right, its destruction is in its own DNA, and I think that was the original title of the thing. And it was a pretty extensive article. I think it was about 3,500, 4,000 words or something. Too big to make as a blog post. And I think I had started a blog, and I posted a few articles or something, or reprinted some articles that I had posted on Mike's blog. And I thought I would blog. I thought that would be a way to get some things out there about what I was thinking. But I had this monster article and it was too big. And I thought, well, hell, what am I going to do here? I could, see if I could get it posted in the local paper, but that's only going to be local. That's not going to be international. Nobody else is going to see it. What am I going to do? And I thought, well, hell, wait a minute. What about YouTube? People like watching videos a lot more than they like reading, I learned. Because I'd posted some articles and, maybe 100 people would read it, but this wasn't getting any big, look. And I wanted to get the word out to people all over the place that Scientology was bad news. I was definitely motivated to do that. And I thought, YouTube, maybe I could do YouTube. Maybe I could make videos. And this was the germ that became my channel, because I had this article and I went out and bought a $99 camera, and I got some white butcher paper to hang on a thing behind me. And I got a couple of lights, and I looked up on YouTube, how do you do lighting and how do you shoot stuff? And I didn't know about it. I had to really do a whole lot of this stuff. I had done a little bit of video work when I was in the church, and I had made a video, a recruitment video, when I was in Twin Cities. And that was the first time I'd ever done anything with iMovie or any of that. So other than that one experience, I hadn't ever done any video work. So I was kind of teaching myself how to do it with YouTube videos. What's 3-point lighting? What's this? What's that? And I put these, and I scripted out. I broke the article down into bite-sized chunks, and I scripted out a bunch of about, I think, 5 or 6 videos. And I proceeded to start producing them. And I just put myself in a black t-shirt on a white background because I didn't want me to be the message. I wanted the message to get across, not me. It wasn't about me. And so I didn't want to talk about me or my story or my thing. I didn't want to do a big emotional appeal. I wanted to talk about what was wrong with the church. And I was inspired by Carl Sagan, because I thought, if I'm going to do this, I want the things I say to last. I want them to be what I learned. I wanted it to be evergreen content. I wanted it to always be relevant. And I knew things about the church that were always going to be true, no matter what the church said or did, or what smoke and mirrors it tried to, show people. I knew this would be the way to do this, would be to put this content out there that was just always going to be true about the church.